Having a home gym has a lot of advantages, such as not having to drive to the gym, not having to wait for equipment on a busy day, and being able to listen to your music without headphones. But many of you might find it either space or cost prohibitive to have your own home gym. Now, first of all, for space, you really don't need that much. I'd say the minimum is around 100 square feet for the equipment I'm going to be going over. As for my gym at home, I have 13 by 13 foot size, and that's more than enough. Now, as far as cost, depending on the equipment you need, it's anywhere from around $1,200 to $2,500. $1,200 is the bare minimum, and the biggest difference for the fluctuation in range is whether or not you want to have sets of dumbbells, or if you're just fine with one set of adjustable dumbbells. Now, the key to saving on gym equipment is to be patient while checking the marketplaces such as Amazon, Craigslist, and deal sites like slickdeals.com. You're also going to want to check the local gyms around you just to see, they're going to have a lot of used equipment that's pretty good shape, even though it's old. It's going to be a lot better to get that than to get like some chintzy new equipment that isn't going to last you as long. Now, when I purchased all my gym equipment, it was around March or April of 2013. Prices are always going to change, but the tactics in which you use to find the lowest prices will not. Now, for any home gym, you're going to need a power rack. This is the Valor BD Seven power rack. Got this for around $500 on Amazon. Right now it's between $500 and $600 on Amazon. But you're going to want to use a historic price checking site such as keepa.com to check the historic prices on items which are on Amazon. You don't want to be paying a record high price for your items. So if this is on a record high currently, just wait a few months or a few weeks if you have the patience. Now, ceiling height can be an issue for any power rack. The Valor BD Seven with the rubber end caps removed is about 6 feet 10 inches. My ceiling is just over 7 feet. It's 7 feet 1 inch. Now, I took away the drywall here, and there's an additional 9.5 inches in between the wooden slats. This is so you can do pull-ups and chin-ups. So definitely measure if you're in a basement, or if you're putting this on the first floor as well. Definitely measure your ceiling height before purchasing this. Now, putting together this power rack is a chore, but given the parts and the complexity, especially the pulley system in the back, I don't see how it could have been any easier. You're going to want just make sure you have the right tools for it. Now, I did have a warped piece of plastic in the back for the pulley system, but Jim Vanderbleek, the owner of Valor Athletics, he actually answered my email and shipped out a replacement part immediately, so customer service is great for this. You're also going to need an Olympic weight set. It's pretty much a necessity, along with an Olympic bar. I purchased these at Dick's Sporting Goods. They were on sale for under $300 for 255 pounds. And then you can just get some clips at Amazon for around $10. If you need more than 255 pounds, just get 2 additional 45-pound weights on Amazon. Actually, don't get them on Amazon. I paid way too much for mine at $106. Get them locally, either on Craigslist or a local gym. It really doesn't matter if they're rusty. They're just weights. Also, you're going to need a calf block. This is going to be your basically your necessity for all your calf exercises, since you're not going to have any dedicated calf machines. You can do a variety of different exercises, but each one uses that. This is about $50 on Amazon. Next, you're going to want a bench. I have the Iron Master Super Bench. It was around $320 on Amazon. And I know over $300 is a lot just for a bench, but it's really versatile. and you can do incline, decline, of course flat, but you really want to make sure you get a sturdy bench because this is rated at 1,000 pounds. You don't want to get a bench that's rated much lower than that. You don't want to get like a cheap Marcy or a Nova bench. You could also see if your local gym has a bench as well. You might not be able to get one that does an incline and decline, but that's what I like about this one because I don't have enough. I mean, I do have enough room, but if you have two benches, especially in a space as small as 13 by 13 or any smaller, you know, you're going to start to get a little crowded. So this can do as the seat attachment. It can do an incline, and then you can also get an additional decline attachment. This is around $70. Again, it's altogether around $400 for a bench, but it's definitely worth it. You might be able to find it cheaper, but you just put this on the end, and then that's your decline as well. Now, you're also going to want some dumbbells. If you want to go the cheaper route, just get a pair of adjustable dumbbells. These were on Amazon for around $260. A lot of the cost was from shipping, so if you can find some adjustable dumbbells on Craigslist, you'll save a lot of money that way. Now the ones I got on Amazon, I'll provide a link to them. They're pretty wide, so if these are a little too wide for you, you could also get a Sawzall and saw some of it off. You just have a lighter weight set and then a heavier weight set where you don't saw it off. Whatever you do, just don't get adjustable dumbbell sets at Walmart because they're cheap pieces of crap. Piece just broke off, but if you can see, but I mean, it's for what you're paying for at Walmart. Just don't get any gym equipment, period, at Walmart. Word of advice. You're going to pay a lot more for a lot lower quality. Now, you're going to want some padding so you don't chip your gym floor. What I have right now is the bare minimum to protect your floor. It's just about 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch of these anti-fatigue mats you can get at a lot of hardware places. I got mine at Harbor Freight. These are 4 square feet each, and they come about they come at 4 to a pack at $10 a pack. So it's a real cost-effective way to cover your gym floor. But yeah, I need about $100 worth of pads to cover this floor, but they start to show wear right away. If you can see there, a bunch of dents, divots, which it's not a problem, but what is a problem is when they start to separate in the high traffic area, you know, right in front of the power rack. You're going to get some separation, and even though you can easily, you know, puzzle piece them back together, it always becomes separate again because you get the shift in the padding over time. To really get it back correctly, you'd have to lift up the power rack and all the weights just to get it back together, and it's really not worth it. Instead of these, I recommend they have them at Tractor Supply Co. These large 1 to 2 inch rubber mats. They're used for horses, but they're about 24 square feet each. It's going to be more expensive, but it's worth it in the long run because they're not going to shift around like these do. Now, as for protection for your floor, I mean, basically the bare minimum. It's going to prevent drops, but they're even 10 pounds at a couple inches. I mean, you can see a dent. But it's good for a start. But after experiencing this, I'd recommend just going with the rubber mats from Tractor Supply right away. Now, if you find adjustable dumbbells too much of a pain and you're willing to spend the extra money, you can get a whole dumbbell set for around $600, assuming they're used, and at around 50 cents a pound. You can get great deals if you just, search locally for these dumbbells, either at local gyms, but especially on Craigslist. And if you build them up over time instead of trying to buy a whole set at once, you'll probably get a better deal, unless you find a set and you're able to talk someone down and negotiate for the whole set. Just buy what you need, If the heaviest dumbbells you use are 75 pounds, then buy up to 65 pounds and then use the adjustable dumbbells for the 75. You're probably not going to use your heaviest set as much as you are the others. And also for the heavier weights, space them in 10-pound increments instead of 5-pound increments like you do with the lower weights. I started at 10 pounds, then go in 5-pound increments up to 60, and then from 60 on, I just go 60 to 85. I just go in 10-pound increments, and then I use my adjustable dumbbells for the heaviest set, and I also use it to fill in between. I don't have a 65-pound set, so I just use those when I need them. And also for the racks, you're also going to want to get these used. My spacing isn't very efficient with these. I have just a one rack at the top here, and the bottom isn't being used. I actually prefer heavier weights at the top racks. That way you're not bending over and having to pick up the heavy weight and possibly hurting your back. Now, with the lower weights, I use the 4-tier set. If you had a 2 or 3-tier set here, you could make do with half this space for the dumbbells. Now, these pieces of equipment aren't exactly necessary, but they do help flesh out the amount of exercises you can do, the variety of lifts rather. You can get a preacher bench. This is a pretty cheap one. It was about $100 new on Amazon. It's really light, which is actually an asset because then you can pick it up and move it around. You can use it for a variety of purposes once you attach a T-bar row attachment here. And that really helps out, the amount of back exercises you can do. This is all you really need for a preacher bench. This adjusts, and then both of the racks here adjust. And then you're also going to want to get an easy curl bar. There's a bunch of other small items you'll get which will just make things easier. The Valor power rack comes with a cable system, so you're going to want a variety of attachments such as a rope attachment. This is I think this is the triangle attachment. Just a variety here. Valor comes with a chain, so you can adjust the length of the attachments. This for squats, and that's about it. And you're also going to want to, you might want a plate tree. It's really up to you. The Valor comes with 4 plate racks, so you might not, but if you have the space, definitely get a plate rack.
As I mentioned earlier, you'll want to use a site like keepa.com to track your historic Amazon pricing. You want to purchase something when it's in one of its price valleys. You can do this by setting up alerts with your email address, so then it'll email you once the price dips below the norm. And for your local purchases, such as barbells and dumbbells, use Craigslist. And then for your equipment purchases, set up some deal alerts on slickdeals.com. Now let's go over the bare minimums equipment needed for your home gym. First, you'll want a power rack. It's between $500 and $600. Your super bench, $400 with the attachment. Your Olympic weight set between 200 and 300. Your calf block, depending on if you make it yourself or you purchase a metal version, between 20 and 70. And your barbell clips. Your adjustable dumbbells, get these regardless if you purchase the non-adjustable dumbbells or not. You'll need these to fill in the gaps. These are between 120 and 240 depending on if you buy them locally or online. So your total cost of the bare minimum home gym is between $1,240 and $610, whether or not you purchase them locally, used, or online. The break even for a $30 a month gym is between 3.5 and 4.5 years. If you want to protect your floor, get some mats. I highly recommend the Tractor Supply Co. mats. A lot more expensive, but if you're fine with piecing together puzzle board and putting it back together every now and then, the Harbor Freight version's somewhat cheaper. Your non-adjustable dumbbell set is going to be around $600. This is assuming 50 cents per pound used, getting them locally. For this set, this is from 10 pounds up to 85 pounds in 5-pound increments, except between 65 and 85 pounds, those are in 10-pound increments. Then if you need something in between those, just use your adjustable dumbbell set. And you can get used racks for around $100. T-bar bracket, $40 online. Handles and barbell pads, between $50 and $100, depending on if you get those locally or not. Preacher bench, around $100. You can probably get a used preacher bench locally for around the same price, but I like the online version just because I think the lightweight is an asset in the home gym because it's easier to move around. Your easy curl bar between $30 and $80, and your plate tree between $30 and $45. Total cost of the complete home gym is anywhere between about $2,300 to $2,900, and your break even for this is between 6.3 and 8 years. Now it seems like it's a long time to get your return on investment, but this doesn't factor in hard to cost benefits like gas and your time saved from not driving to the gym daily. Depending on how you value your time and how far the gym is, this is going to vary a lot person to person. So that should be it, and good luck with your deal hunting.